4 today.
Now, 4 presents For the Record.
Good morning. And WYFF News 4's Nigel Robertson. WYFF News 4 is committed to bringing community, and that is what we plan to do each Sunday morning. This morning, investigation into the January 6th attack at the Capitol, and one of the pieces investigation. We will cover it all from what happened on that day in Washington, D.C. Investigate something like this. Joining me this morning is Timothy Timothy
Aganga Williams.
Aganga Williams, thank you very much for being here. Counsel for the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th.
I was at my home in New York City. I walked everyone else and was, really shocked and appalled on the Capitol. Really saddened. Didn't look like a country that I recognized. Still sticks with me.
Yeah, a day that sticks with all of us, definitely. That you would help with the investigation.
Yeah, so at the time in New York, a job that I enjoy, the job that I and one of my former bosses who was now on the select committee, something you'd be good at and are you interested in? I was like, are you kidding? This is a story. And within a couple of days, I had interviewed and accepted.
So you're moving to D.C.
Yeah.
And you know kind of what's an investigation and really all the players involved as well. Investigation like that?
Well, the investigation, it's all about facts, right? And the first thing is to get a lay of the land of what happened before that moment. The journalist from the attack had been investigating, created a fertile landscape for us to jump right into. So they were where we started fact-finding, asking questions, setting up interviews, subpoenaing documents, and with time, narrowing down the facts to understand who was responsible here.
Any investigations, you have to ask people, witnesses.
Yeah.
Create, just using words, what happened. But you had a video from that day.
Yeah. No, and I think that the Capitol attack. It's not often, I've investigated a lot of crimes as and the witnesses to those events can be far more limited, right? If you're talking about the victims, you're talking about perhaps some eyewitnesses. If you're talking about the people who were engaged, here, this was such a wide-ranging offense from political efforts that happened before, that there were witnesses all across the board that were the American people, because we all watched how these actions culminated in the attack.
You go into an investigation like this, how huge it is, and the pressure behind it. Psyche.
I think for a lot of the members of the staff, it was a burdensome job to have. I mean, because obviously but you're also doing it in real time as the country is awaiting your results. Correctly, you have people who are encouraging you, you have people who are condemning. I mean, it felt for those of us who've engaged in trial work as lawyers, the intense part of being a litigator, but your everyday counts. And route, if you hit a wall, then you either decide, is it worth pushing through, or it really was an intense period. And most importantly, you wanted to get it right. Mm-hmm. Folks are both talking about, all right, how does it impact the next election, but how does it impact was a lot of pressure, but I do think we lived up to it.
Do you, I mean, so many people were charged, including people who involved with each and every one of those. What was your scope?
Yeah, so what was in justice had come in, you know, where I was when I got the call to join the committee. Enter the Capitol, those are engaged in violence. And the department, frankly, had not seen it do most recently. So what we did is that we actually didn't really it was more about how did those people get to the Capitol? What drove? What efforts led up to the attack? That means effectively the political to overturn the election, to inflame a political base, to raise money, out all of that, and how that culminated in the attack on the 6th.
Oh, the scope of this huge, and we are just getting started. We're going to dive into even more. But coming up with so much information that's now public on the January Capitol, many people still have their doubts. Why? That's
It's your America's Best Warranty. Now get 2.99% APR for 60 months. See your local Hyundai dealer today.
The moment Nick and I came in, like home, we are constantly out downtown walking. Place to raise our family. I understand the morning's fast-paced. The sooner you can get out the door, get to work on time, get to school on time. It's bad because they get stuck in traffic.
Your trusted morning team, WY.
Don't miss the brand new season of Collector's Call. All new collections. All new collections. All new fun.
Join me, Lisa Welch. Season of Collector's Call.
Sunday, Carolina.
After that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood, sometimes I just cannot believe it. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our
will make sure we're safe, and it's the best way to protect that legacy.
Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov for tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's Best Warranty. Now get 2.0 months or up to $1,500 total savings on the Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer.
Welcome back to For the Record. We are talking about the investigation. We are joined by one of the senior investigative council members for the House. This investigation, their opinion. I have to ask, was this politically motivated at all?
100% not. I mean, with our team, we're folks who are committed to finding the truth. And we did our work, I think, diligently and honorably, and I think that goes for of our committee. And I think what's important for folks to realize, this is by non-political folks, right? I, for example, was a federal, you know, I work in law firms, not on Capitol Hill. I mean, this team, D.C. for the first time to ever work. Folks who had no politics, who did not have any professional reasons to take careers, that they actually gave up a lot to join the committee. So I think, you know, sought out the truth, and our report and our hearings and our public findings all reflect
is so divided right now, and when you do an investigation like this, because there's not just one side or the other, all sides putting in their 2 cents. Did you hear that? The news, if you put on the news or you read the newspaper, did you get a sense of that divide?
You know, it's hard in the real world, and we walk around the real world, and people know what you did, and people want. Every day you would go to work, you would wake up, and the things you did the day before were being talked about. So you were living in the real world, but I think folks really. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I did not feel political. Pretty removed from that. I mean, we came to work and we did what we had done in prior. We were trained for this, and that's why we were hired. And we've, you know, it wasn't our first go-around situations. And frankly, you know, a lot of us who were prosecutors, for example, were lost when you dealt with cases that are truly where the state. You know how important it is to stay focused, and that's what I think. That's what we all did.
When you look at everything you did at the end of the investigation, voting to impeach former President Donald Trump, investigation since then, go back to that one. In many ways, the weight of what you and the team did, see how that carries out today?
I think 100%. I mean, I think if you look into former President Trump and you read that indictment by the special counsel, it really tracks the work of the committee. It tracks the committee's summer hearings. It tracks the fake elector scheme that was uncovered. That's the committee's work. The entire former President Trump and his allies, that was uncovered by the committee. Indictment in Georgia and the focus on there, the work of Georgia and uncovering victims, Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, 2 election poll workers victimized and attacked and openly condemned and accused of being part of a fraud. Both of those women, they were witnesses in one of our summer hearings. Yeah. So specifically those 2 I mentioned, you see the committee's work in action, referring former President Trump to criminal charges. Charges are reflected in the special counsel's federal indictment. So I think the committee's, you know, we basically passed it on to law enforcement, and I think this indictment reflects it was backed by evidence, and that they all now believe that they can prove these charges beyond.
The climate that we live in today, there are people who believe you and there are people who don't believe. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what will the history books say?
I think investigation and what those facts demonstrated is that engaged in effectively a political coup to stop the peaceful transfer of power. Truth may seem jarring or hard to accept. The report is public. You can go and read this and check our footnotes. And I just note virtually all of our witnesses were Republicans. The folks who had that because they were in the Trump inner circle. They had that because they were selected to be in these roles of power and access to power, otherwise inclined with the opposing public party. So when I look 10 years, but I think what will be true is that our investigation was based on fact.
Excellent. Stay right there. From Furman University to a powerful. We hear about his journey from the upstate to D.C.
There's so much more to the walk to end Alzheimer's than just walking. More time for treatments and more time to ultimately find 23 Walk to End Alzheimer's in Greenville on Saturday, September 30th. Stopping Alzheimer's, but to get there, we need you. Register today at AL and join WIFF4 in the fight for a different future.
The one from your smartphone has temperatures and basic info, but you need an The WIFF4 app has complete local weather, weather alerts, and local updates from the WIFF News 4 weather. Get the local app with the complete weather picture. The app that's built WIFF4 app.
I watched WIFF4 since I was a kid. My grandparents had a barn, and I get to take my kids there to show them not only where I grew up, but how it's changed. That you watched growing up. It gives you a lot of perspective. We want people to know that about the news and the traffic and the weather that's impacting them.
Your trusted morning team.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Meet Opie Taylor. A dreamer.
I wish that I get a B in arithmetic.
Driven.
Don't call me names.
And a dentist's best friend.
Can I have a candy bar? Best sheriff in the whole world.
He's devoted to Dad. It's Andy and Opie. So.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV Carolina.
Thanks for staying with us for the Record. Now, you are in town to Straight Talk program. Talk to me about from your role in one of the biggest investigations the country is, the world is back to Furman University and getting to be able to talk about it.
It's great. You know, Furman was a place that allowed me. I mean, some of my most memorable debates I've had where I really felt the freedom and the opportunity to really have my thoughts challenged by my fellow classmates. So I feel fortunate that I get to come back, whatever insight I have to not only Furman students, but to the Greenville community.
Not just at Furman, but really all over, not just college, but all that are in school and they wonder what tomorrow will bring. We're a student on Furman's campus going to math class or whatever. Could you have had any idea that you would be involved in?
You know, I think it's, I can't, I wish I could say yes, but I think, you know, what I enjoyed about my firm, encouragement to think about the world as an open place and to think about opportunities. I mean, law school, and it was my professors at Furman who helped me think about all the different ways that I could go to. So, you know, I couldn't look out and see where I would be right now. See, was that open-mindedness, that the world will come to you in all kind of different ways, but stay.
All right, what would you say to the students who could be home watching right now, hoping that your story inspires their kids?
Tell them is to keep that intellectual curiosity, is to always keep pushing yourself, and always, you know, one thing that I was told is that when someone, and that's part of what happened to me in Jan 6, that getting that committee involved, getting in another apartment in D.C., and in a matter of a week and a half, having from the Department of Justice and moving to a whole new city, start a whole new life. But I think having that default perspective that, hey, I think it's super important because you never know what life will give you, but if you stay open-minded, you'll find your way.
Yeah. I mean, did you think of possibly saying no when you?
I didn't think of saying no, but I still had some kinds of fear. Good. I think when you feel some unease, it's like in public jury, if you don't feel a little something in your stomach, then, you know, that fear factor is almost a signal that you're doing something that's something. All right, and I felt that when I got the committee call, it really was like, oh my goodness. Wait, I'm going to go to D.C., I'm going to get an apartment, I got to do what? I got to do this? How's that? So I think that fear sometimes, you know, it's a motivator, and it can push you to the next.
I've got my facts correct. A 2008 graduate?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
2008 graduate. Changed so much, and the investigation that you were a part of is evolution of changing world. Where do we go from here in the sense of who may be scared to step into the lead? It is, or the political world, how divisive it is. Because of the fear factor of not knowing.
I think all of this division is actually an opportunity. There's an old line that chaos is a ladder. I think it's actually from Game of Thrones. That when things are uneasy, when things are, you know, a little shaken up, that's your chance to make a difference. Because when things are settled and calm, people need someone to motivate them. But then when something is different, when something is off, right, I'm the one who can make a difference. So I think if I were a young person looking now and say, wow, maybe the world needs me more than ever. Maybe this is the perfect time for me to go to school. Maybe it's a perfect time for me to pursue a passion that helps other people do even more.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Your story is in some on For the Record.
It all sort of came together, mesmerized us before our television.
Reflecting on the U.S. Capitol and what a political expert has to say about how years to come.
Jump and soar. When our squad is on point, dazzling stunts and dances are my jam. Pain once a life-changing brace with no surgery to fear. Activity with reason to cheer. Watch me. Industry-leading scoliosis treatment at amazing care anywhere.
As a teacher, every day was a new chance to make a difference. As a Marine, that was my duty, a duty I never forgot. And now my law firm is here on the job. At George Sink Injury Lawyers, we know how much your life changes. We're here to help. Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nines.
Friday Night Hits. Highlights. Mark Whiteman. At 11 on WYFF News 4. From the moment
this morning, Perella Lewis.
Watch a newscast anywhere you are. Getting your kids workout. Stay up to date, even when you're not in front of a TV.
We are stories tonight.
Making dinner and preparing to do it all over again tomorrow.
Your wake up.
Watch. Download the WYFF4 app now.
Where I go, you.
Sky 4, do you copy?
exclusive video from Sky 4.
Nothing gets you.
Time ago from Sky 4.
Breaking news delivered to you in minutes.
Exclusive.
You won't see anywhere else. Sky 4, keeping you on top of the day. Breaking news. WYFF News 4.
It's been more than 2 years since the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Investigation. There's also been a lot of reflection, both in D.C. on the 2-year anniversary. Earlier this year, Kylie Jones spoke with an upstate professor who shaped the nation. Here it is, in case you missed it.
Deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. People in the upstate reflecting on
justice and reconciliation.
Well, I think January 6th was a building political frustration within parts of American society.
Professor Brent Nelson says he did in that historical attack.
These are moments when you find these kinds of protest movements building up.
He says some of them we saw on the January 6th attack are playing out in the harsh divide of the U.S. House of Representatives.
And I think we see some of that in the House of certain faction that certainly would not say they support storming of the Capitol, but they represent the people that felt so strong. And they are resisting the elites.
Nelson says the January 6th politically, saying it's likely political parties and structure could continue.
I don't think we're going to see another storming of the Capitol, but this emotion is expressed.
And that was from the upstate have been arrested and charged for their alleged involvement has been sentenced. Thank you for joining us For the Record. We want to examine if you have an idea for a story or an issue you think needs a deeper conversation. For the Record at WYFF4.com. Thank you and have a great Sunday. We'll see you.